What's up guys, Mike here, and in this spooky edition, I'll share with you how to know or figure out if the house you bought or are about to buy is haunted. I'm not saying it's haunted like the Crypt Keeper's house if you're old enough to remember that, but sometimes it can be hard to know if something happened in that home where there's maybe some unrest with some spirits or possibly a dark entity that is just lurking and waiting for a new body to take form. By the end of this video, you're going to know 3 ways to check to see if the house you're looking to buy is haunted, the benefits of buying a haunted house, yes, there actually are some, and the cons of buying a haunted house. So let's get into it. So guys, if you like this type of content about real estate and personal finance, be sure to find that little like button down there walking around somewhere and click it for me, and hit that subscribe button while you're at it, because I will be bringing you content every single week. And it helps my channel get to new eyes here on YouTube, and it's totally free. So with that, thank you so much, and let's get into it. No matter what you believe about ghosts and the afterlife, it seems like some homes just have a lot more odd, unexplained behavior and activity than others. And typically this activity usually ramps up at night, right about the time when you're trying to go, to sleep. So how would you go about finding any of this stuff out before you buy the house? Well, first up is you can check the seller's disclosures. You can request this without even getting under contract. You can request it, or your agent can request it from the other agent, just showing what are the issues with the house. Typically, it's never an issue for the agent to hand that over and share with you. Most US states require that the seller complete this form to show any potential buyers any of the issues that they know about with the property. That's why it's called a seller disclosure. Now, just be forewarned, you're not likely to see a haunted box in one of the check boxes on these forms, so don't look for that. Nevertheless, sellers in many states are required to disclose any strange occurrences or things that quirks with the property, usually more towards its physical condition. But if there is some stuff going on that's supernatural, they may actually put that in there. Smart sellers would probably put in what they've observed without trying to be too detailed and draw any weird conclusions. A second thing you can do is, if you're really interested in the house, you can go knock on some doors around the house to the neighbors and ask them what they know about the property's history. Maybe they've heard a story. Maybe they've heard a rumor. Maybe they actually know something. Maybe they've lived there for 30 years or 40 years and they know that there was a horrible murder in the home or something like that. That might be something of interest that you'd want to know about. Just ask the neighbor simply, hey, what can you tell me about the house's history? Usually, a neighbor will be more than happy to spill the beans about the property, especially given the fact that they're not financially affected by the outcome of it. And number 3, you can try a simple Google search. You can search the property, you can search the city, county, or maybe even state records. You can look up old news articles and see if there's anything that matches that property's address in terms of a haunting or an atrocity or a murder or something very strange that maybe took place decades, years ago at that property. A lot of these older properties had weird things that happened in the late 1800s, early 1900s. Those spirits are, still in those homes. So, you can look into that. So moving on, what are the benefits of buying a haunted house? Now, haunted houses, especially those with dark histories, may be harder to sell. And when a homeowner is trying to sell one of these properties, they may be more willing to negotiate a lower sell price for you, which will give you an edge. Even some of the most beautiful haunted mansions in places like Savannah, Georgia, and New Orleans, Louisiana, and California have been on the market for several months, if not several years. And the prices have dropped by tens of thousands of dollars until they finally find a buyer that's willing to take the risk and buy that property. So, Mike, what's the benefits, man? Let's get to the point. So, the point is that many of these homeowners that do own some of the scariest and haunted properties in North America have actually turned them into hotels, theme parks, and historical site visits, and turned it into a business to make money off of for people who are seeking out thrills and seeking out information and entertainment in the supernatural world. You could host events, overnight stays, and paranormal tours, to name a few. If anything, you could Airbnb the property and it'll really stand out because that's a theme. You'll have a ghost Airbnb. Just make sure you get the proper permits from the city before you start scaring the bejesus out of people. When it comes to living in the house, another benefit is you're never home alone. Now, if the entity is a friendly entity, that's actually a great little thing. It might spice up your day, make things a bit more enjoyable. Hell, they might even do some chores. And you'll always have great stories to tell at a cocktail party. Even with intriguing stories and the potential to possibly benefit financially from owning a haunted property, there are still some real drawbacks, and that leads us into our next section, the cons of owning a haunted property. So, not every person is keen on sharing their space with a spirit, be it a friendly spirit or an evil spirit. So don't be surprised if some of your friends and family decline to spend the night or hang out at your house for any extended period of time. And also, don't find it shocking when potential buyers learn of the spirit and their interest in the property suddenly disappears and they ghost you, literally ghost you. And just as you may be able to have negotiated a lower price to buy the property, now you're the seller and now you face that same risk where you're going to have to negotiate a lower price from someone who may want to buy that property, and you're going to have to lose money on it. Another drawback to owning a haunted house is that it may cost you more in maintenance than you realize. For example, if the ghost or spirits that live there are clumsy and they're constantly breaking things, you're going to have a lot of repairs and maintenance that you're going to have to spend on a monthly and annual basis to keep the property up. And if they're slamming and breaking things at night, slamming doors, windows shattering or things like that, you're going to have trouble sleeping at night, which is going to put you in a bad mood and could possibly affect your health long term. And also, don't forget the emotional toll that a haunted spirit could take on you and your family inside of the house in terms of negative, demonic energy. If one of the family members, like a child or a pet, becomes possessed, that could also take its toll on you guys as well. You got to remember, many spirits, if not all of them, were once people that were living. And just like people that are living today, there's good people and there's some really bad ones. Most hauntings are typically harmless, but occasionally you do come across those ones that are very demented and quite sinister. So if that's what you end up seeing, you might not want to buy that property if you can find that out beforehand. And since a home is a big financial commitment, you may not just be able to get up and leave if you and your family decide that the entity is evil and you don't want to be in the house. It's not just, hey, put it up for sale, it'll sell in 2 weeks. So you got to take that in consideration too. You might be stuck there for a while. Well, that's all I have for today, guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one.